Okay, cool. So here we are with the replay of the second quarterfinal. Duckyours' Ardennes Vagrants versus JuodVarnis' Ragnarok and Roll. Joining me, Virtual Viking. Hey, bud, you're right.
Hi. Yep. Apparently it was a bloody match.
A bit of a contest. I think it's safe to say we're both doing better than Duckyours is doing. Let's just look at the stats before we go in. Hang on. So let's see. Ragnarok 64 blocks succeeded, 6 KOs, 6 injuries, and 1 kill. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Dude, look at the SPP. 11, 14, 16, 19, 23. Oh my god.
That's
okay,
a
we should...
Did you know?
that is pretty much one-sided. Pretty
Skaven
sure
Yeah.
Duckyours doesn't want to play anymore.
I've been there. I have been there. I've been there.
Same.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Remember with my Amazons last season?
Yeah, dude.
First game, I got salty about it because my team was completely wiped.
And you ended up winning the whole damn league.
Yeah.
I think that first game of the last league was pretty much the only one where you really struggled, and then things started going much better for you.
The 2 games I faced Dwarfs were the worst. And
Well, you would expect that, wouldn't you?
yeah, apart from that, I did okay.
Isn't there a... there should be a watch in 1.5 speed sort of setting.
Well, I think it's already like 1.5 speed because we don't see the waiting in between decisions. We only see
The
the
animations.
actions did. Yeah.
Oh.
So technically, it's faster.
Yep. So, who's kicking off? JuodVarnis is kicking off.
Yeah. He's placing
So right away, I'm surprised to see Duckyours deciding to stack the line in defense. I mean, he does have a lot of wrestling guys, so
yeah. And fend off, but still, it's not really a good choice against Norse, in my opinion.
the thing is, I can kind of I don't think it's a sort of bad choice. I mean, if you look at his lads, he's got fend, he's got wrestle, so it could. If the dice rolls went in his favor.
Yeah, but it's technically not really good because Norse are basically dwarves faster and with less armor.
Yeah.
So they all have block. So pretty much every single block you're gonna throw is gonna be safe. Just because of
Indeed.
that block advantage.
Well, Duckyours did just confirm he thought he was going to be receiving, I think. Mixed up there.
Oh, okay.
And then surfed on turn 1, you kidding me? Oh, that's unlucky. You have to remember though, with these Norse, you cannot go near the sides of the pitch.
Yeah.
Oof, that's unlucky.
Just 2 squares, and you're out. Really don't like playing against Norse. And when I typically play with Norse, I tend to just bash instead because I prefer that to surfing. It gives us PP.
Yeah. Oh, good lord, look at that. A KO and an injury on turn 1. Fucking hell.
I mean, that's
That is brutal.
That's gonna set up the mood of the whole game.
Yeah. So this is so typical of Blood Bowl. So Duckyours hasn't even been able to throw a dice block yet, and he's 2 players down. Classic Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Yeti hasn't even attacked yet. Has he blitzed?
Well, now he.
Good. He has blitzed. I mean, oh god, the poor Brettonians. I mean, they're not one of the better teams. They're a tier 3 team to begin with. And then before you even get to put hands on keyboard, you're 2 players down.
Well, they're, in my opinion, they're a good team. Just not early on. Like in the early games, you're not the greatest, but when you get levels on your blitzers and other people, you get the advantage. Also because your blitzers have what's the skill
Dauntless?
that lets Dauntless.
Giant Slayer.
Yeah, that's an amazing skill to have on your blitzers, in my opinion.
Honestly, even on a team like High Elves, I've for a long time considered or with thought about the idea of giving my blitzers like you know, Dauntless and Mighty Blow. And that's not the right way to do it, but just for interest's sake, I mean, maybe at lower TV against more inexperienced coaches, you can, you know, if you're not playing the right way, maybe that's the way to win. But but like, what do you do here as the Bretonnians? I mean, God.
The attacker has an assist.
I try to just set up a bit, like, basically not have everybody in base contact with the Norse.
So give as few blocks as possible.
Yeah, and basically setting up, you know, like in our game, the kind of cage in the second round that I did without moving at all for the first 3 turns.
The thing is that I'm putting myself in Duckyours' shoes here, and I'm thinking, I want JuodVarnis to run it in now as quick as possible. The problem is, though, you have to incentivize him and force him to do it, because JuodVarnis is experienced and smart enough to, you know, not score quickly here.
Yeah.
Because if he scores quickly, then we get a chance of getting that tackler back on the blocker back on the field.
But at the same time, right now, Duckyours is in a good position. I would say just. I mean, just right now he fixed one of his problems, which was that dude that marked his people. Now he could, well, instead of going to base contact with.
Ooh, dodge double GFI. And he rolls a skull. Oh my god, and then oh my word. That was absolutely the right play there. It just got unlucky with the dice and making nice dodges here.
Well, it was... He should have moved to the left of the ball handler to have 2 dices instead of 1.
Small detail, but an important one. Yeah. Frenzy, single dice. Oh. It just occurs to me that with the Bretonnians, that the highest armor value is only 8, so it's not like they're a particularly durable team.
Yeah, and also your
peasants are garbage.
Yeah, are pretty garbage. But 8 is like the average.
Yeah.
9 would be quite surprising on the.
I mean, the thing is, it's interesting because like the Bretonnians are clearly all about their blitzers and tacklers.
Yeah, but, and also a big thing that lets the tacklers stay alive is the wrestle. Wrestle features. Because if someone, let's say, was to hurt you with a both down, it doesn't.
Wrestle them.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me you're preaching to the choir there. You saw how I like wrestle on my high elves.
Yeah. I mean, that scary Yeti with claws and mighty blow. Just put a.
Wrestle him.
Yeah, just put a what's the name of their class again? The
Blocker,
knights.
I think.
Yeah. Just put a blocker on him and keep him busy with it. Because they're the most durable of the Bretonnians.
Well, actually, I mean, the thing is, if he had a peasant with wrestle, he'd be even better off because then that the claw would be doing nothing.
Yep.
And it's interesting from some of the people I've spoken to, well, viewers obviously who have played Bretonnia before. I was asking them, you know, how do you level up your peasants, and the answer was you don't. As soon as they level up, you fire them because you want to keep the TV down.
Yeah. And you buy another one because they're cheap.
Yeah, it's interesting, but the thing is, like, I instinctively don't like that. Like, I don't like. What's the thing I dislike the most about? One of the things I dislike the most about Blood Bowl is the TV manipulation. I mean, I get it's a legit tactic and everything. I just really don't like it.
Yeah, but also, it's just you keep one of them. One of them leveled up, like JuodVarnis said, for Fowler, or even 2 if you want a kicker. But apart from that, you don't put anything on them.
Dirty, bloody peasant! Oh, Sir Brian Youngbane, the blocker. He's dead.
That's
Okay.
ouch.
Okay, but at least the Apo did his job. So hang on, there were already all those casualties, and Duckyours Apo was successful. So just think, it would have been even worse if that had failed.
Indeed. It would have been disastrous. But I mean, at the same time, it doesn't really matter that your team is crippled like that. Duckyours, not gonna lie, because we're not playing with them anymore. It's the same with my mummies.
Yeah.
Just gotta hope for a better team next time, in my
Indeed.
opinion.
Well, the thing is, I mean, in terms of team allocation, I got incredibly lucky. High Elves, I think, is one of the top tier teams. It's funny because, sorry, it's funny because to win, I think, first of all, you need to get a decent enough team. Then you have to have decent enough dice, and of course you have to play properly. You have to do all those three things.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have either of those three, I mean, if dice is in your favor and you play well, you can still win with almost any of the teams. But if you have a great team and you play well, but the dice are rotten, you'll still lose.
Yeah, but you can still mitigate the damage from loss to a tie.
But I'm talking about
bad rolls.
up until the time you get to the knockout stage. Oh my word! This is so brutal.
Yep,
It's
it is.
turn 4, dude. It's turn 4, turn 5. What the hell? 1 KO, 2 injuries, an Apo death, a served guy. This is absolutely gruesome.
Yep.
Like, I just point out the injuries are, it's not like it's the peasants. The KO and the 2 injuries are the blitzers and the tacklers.
That's really what sucks the most. Because I mean,
he's got a blitzer. He's got a blitzer and a blocker left on the field, and a bunch of peasants.
Yeah.
But indeed, oh no, whenever I play Norse, my instinct is to bash them, but the thing is, because of the 7 AV, but a lot of times that's not the right thing to do because they've got so much block. Oh, double fail.
Also, I wouldn't try to dodge with a peasant because they only have 2 agility.
To be fair though, I think this is just straight up tilt mode now. In any sort of analysis of the tactical choices of Duckyours at this point is not fair.
Yeah.
Poor guy. It's also doubly rotten luck that you get this sort of dice rolls in a knockout game. But hey, that's Blood Bowl.
Yep. Sometimes Nuffle likes you, sometimes he doesn't.
Hell, some seasons Nuffle hates you, some seasons he doesn't.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's funny, like going into the season, more than anything, I wanted High Elves, and I got them, and it wasn't even that great.
Well, a good thing you should think about when playing High Elves at the earlier stages is when the ball is in your possession, try to pass every turn.
Yeah, because of the SPP farming.
Yeah, and that's how you make your High Elves well, worth it, let's say, because earlier in the games they're not a squishy team, they're not a bashy team, they're quite regular, like let's say like humans, but instead of being rounded up in the rest, you're just good at agility.
Yeah, well, I mean, the High Elves, if you look at the stat lines, they're just humans with +1 agi across the board. And then you get 2 less blitzers.
And +1 strength on your catchers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, given the
Because,
choice between humans and High Elves, I'll take High Elves every time.
Yep. They're overall better, but they don't have a big guy.
Yeah, and a lot of times the big guy is just a straight liability in any case. Well, at least Duckyours got both his knockouts back.
Well, he might think that, but at the same time, it's just more cannon fodder at this point. I mean, in a game like that, if I was to play, I would wish my guys didn't wake up.
Well, actually, I mean, like you say that, but look, it's just if you just try to forget about the first 8 turns. At this point, he's 1-0 down. He's only 1 player down. I mean, admittedly, 2 of his blitzers are off the field, but if it was a different matchup, and you told yourself 1 player down, 1 touchdown down, going into second half, the game's not over, but it's not looking good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did say tilt mode, and when I'm in tilt mode, I just don't want my players to die. So, personally, I would wish...
Well, he got an extra team reroll this off, which is just going to end now this turn, so...
Yeah.
All you can hope for here is a pass for a bit of SPP.
A loose ball is a dangerous ball.
But what's here? Is Lord Arden going to pick it up and throw it?
Getting the ball at their feet.
Blitz, risky.
But at the same time, the SPP farming is not really worth it in this game.
Well, the thing is, of course, but you're still going to try it. I mean, this situation, you're not going to one-turn score, so you never know. If by some miracle pulls off the win, that 1 SPP could be the difference. Look at that. Nice injury. Good job. And now he's even on players. So there must have been some crazy shit happening.
Even on players, but not even the players' skills.
Oh, absolutely not, yeah. I mean, if he was 2 peasants down and had his blitzers, it'd be a very different game.
Yeah, because basically now what JuodVarnis is missing is just linemen, and linemen are not really, linemen are not really worth it in this case.
Well, we say that the linemen for the Norsemen, they get blocked, so they're basically blitzers. Crazy.
Yeah. They get
Go
blocked.
for the throw. Go for the throw.
At the same time, they're not as good as.
A lot of other blitzers. They're a bit slower and they have the less armor value. Okay, so that was a pretty rough half there for Duckyours, but could have been worse, which suggests to me that he's in for a pretty painful first few turns of the second half.
Carnage can start all over again.
This is like watching a car crash happening over the course of 45 minutes.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh no! Oh no!
No! It's kind of like that Austin Powers where the steamroller is coming towards the henchman. No! God.
Kickoff result. It's gonna. Apparently, Duckyours saying that that's where he tilted. I wonder what it is.
I'm guessing
injuries.
No, I'm guessing it's going to be a blitz for the Norsemen.
Oh, maybe, but it's at the same time.
Oh, it's a blitz, and it's going to be a big blitz, and someone's going to get killed.
Probably.
That's so hard. Who's got the fan factor? And look at that, Duckyours actually has the fan factor, and the kickoff result goes against him. That's so unlucky.
Yeah, and the worst, I completely understand that, because the worst thing is, as a Khemri team at the beginning, you have like 50,000 left. So I just bought fan factor result, so I could maybe win the first, result, kickoff result. But that never worked. That never worked.
Well, it never works until it does work. That being said, I do typically, when I'm creating a team, if I have some change left over, I tend to throw it at team popularity.
Grab the ball. A wise move, as it's quite fundamental.
Though currently, JuodVarnis' team is quite overextended, and there's quite a few how do you say well, of course, when you roll that, it's not that. Never mind.
Yeah.
it's just rotten luck at this point. But if he had rolled a bit better, there were 2 openings he could have exploited and taken an advantage.
So, Duckyours does make a good point that as bad as it was, that Yeti was wild animal for most of the game. Oh god! Filthy peon dead! That's a leveled up lineman.
Yep. Oh, so that means that's the only technical death, because he doesn't have his apothecary anymore.
Yep, the other death got apoed. Good lord. Oh, this is, oh, come on, man. This is a dicing, you have to say.
Yep. If you look at the armor break results, it's harsh.
And everyone watching this can all say the same thing. We've all been there. And as true as it is, it doesn't make anyone feel better when they're on the receiving end.
Yeah. It's really not.
I mean, for me in this tournament, I had a couple of games where I won just by a full-on dicing. My opponent just got absolutely... Oh, what? Another death.
I suppose that's a misclick.
Yep. It's tilt mode. It's like whatever. But as I was saying, I mean, I won two of my wins that I got in the group stage were just because the dice were just so obscenely in my favor, and it's actually annoying. Like I was happy to win, but you don't want to. I hate winning that way.
Yeah, it's better to win when it's not a dicing. Like, if both parties have tons of injuries, it's the best kind of games.
Yeah, SPP for everyone.
Yeah, and it's even better when the injuries are not permanent.
Well, I mean, it's been an interesting league. We have an interesting mix because there's a bunch of very experienced coaches and a bunch of very inexperienced coaches, and some of the newer coaches have actually had a few surprise results.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, the newer players, I think, it's a better environment than trying to learn on the open ladder. I mean, it's with friends. Yes, sure, the game sometimes sucks, but you're sometimes facing more experienced players that can help you improve a bit. And when you see them play, you adapt a bit as well.
Yeah, and also it's not like when you're on the open ladder, you have some person just screaming Russian obscenities at you.
Yeah, yeah. Or just
does
raging
happen.
so hard. Yeah.
Kaheta, you filthy Kaheta. Oh, that was great though, wasn't it? Man, that was wonderful. Oh, this is. Can we just fast forward? This is horrible. I can't watch.
Well, you can always skip turn.
Well, I feel like at this point we're watching that scene in Casino where the guy's getting beaten to death with a baseball bat. I'm like, ugh, God, is it over? Look away.
Look away.
And it's not as though the team on the receiving end is one of the most hated teams like Dwarves or Chaos or something. It's Brettonians, you know. Or bless them, little Brettonians. If this was happening to a Wood Elf team, I would be gleeful.
Yeah, I forgot you hate them.
Oh, I hate Wood Elves. So bullshit.
Yeah, I remember I played some Wood Elves against you, and you were like, "What the fuck is this?"
I'll tell you what, playing against Wood Elves, the first time I had a War Dancer leap into a cage, knock the guy down, pick the ball up, and run away. It's like, I mean,
Yeah,
come on, man. It's nuts.
That was against me.
I might have been. It's happened to me a bunch of times. And the worst thing is, unless you have someone who's custom made, purpose built for killing a War Dancer, you're almost never going to knock him down.
Yeah. Well, technically, it's not necessarily only built to kill Wood Elves, because technically you only need tackle. And
Yeah,
tackle
you need somebody to get through block as well. Yeah. But they have blocks, so. But yeah, tackle gives you your best bet. I mean, ideally, the person hitting the War Dancer needs at minimum tackle, and then you want some mighty blow to make sure he stays down.
Yeah. I mean, a typical killer build
Just grab this piece of soap.
is enough in my opinion.
Yep.
What is that?
All these catches. Look at the ones, 1-1.
And then
The 6.
wolf just catched it. Yeah.
I did once in a mad scrum like that with the ball flying all over the place with my human team. I had my big guy catch the ball on a 6. which is exactly the person I didn't need it on because I had 2 turns left to score, and he's so damn slow.
Yeah.
So like, it was like the one time it happens, you're like, no, why? Why would it work? Oh, the powers. What are these powers?
Unless you're playing Khemri. You want the big guys to have it.
I think those Tomb Guardians, are they the fastest big guys?
Oh no, no, the Rat Ogres are, and the Minotaur.
Oh yeah. But the thing is, the Red Ogre is barely a big guy with 8 AV.
Well,
Like half a big guy is super
not
strong.
necessarily big armor either. It's just hitting hard.
Big strength.
And yeah,
The thing when I played the rats, the Rat Ogre is wonderful. Even if you're just watching his tail go back and forth, it's hypnotic. But the Rat Ogre is very easy to get taken off the field.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's my favorite
Big guy.
big guy. Yeah, in the game. So if I
Okay, a nice little hit there by that peasant. Who is that? Lazy?
They're massive and can take your hand.
Lazy Everard. Good hit. It's a bit late, mate, but good hit. You know what? Considering how the dice has gone, I'm a little disappointed Juod didn't score more. You could really have put the boot in more.
yeah, but at the same point, I think he has gotten enough level ups. I'm not sure how many he got.
Well, actually, you make a fair point. I mean, a touchdown is 3 SPP, an injury is 2 SPP, and he's getting so many of those. He's actually
Yeah.
getting more SPP from just punching the shit out of these Bretonnians.
Get together.
Yeah,
Another
so-
pal.
So I mean, at the same time, when you score, you give the ball to the other team. So you
Indeed.
risk being scored against as well. Unless
Yeah,
you're,
you risk
unless
one
you're
of
Wood
these.
Elf, you don't
Wait,
do
1,
that.
2, 3. Wait, how many? Oh, I'm just counting the injuries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 off the field.
So that makes that that game so much easier for JuodVarnis. I mean, he can score at any point.
My God, these KOs. This is nuts.
Doesn't mean we can't finish on a few fatalities.
How many? There's 3 Bretonnians left on the field. 3.
I mean, that reminds me of the how do you say? Oh yeah, my first game with with the Amazons.
Oh yeah, you got field cleared, didn't you, with the Amazons?
Yup. Fully cleared. Nobody
But
on the field left.
You played against Dwarfs though, didn't you?
Yeah.
That-
But I
that-
still
that-
won the game.
Well, but the thing is, that is just that's a classic 1000 TV Amazon versus Dwarves result. You get the absolute shit kicked out of you, but you still manage to win. And of course, the rock hits the one peasant on the field. Oh, Nuffle, you are such an asshole. Oh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's so bad.
Go on, punch him. Lazy Everard. Nope. Double skull. That's about right. That is about right, though. Double skull. That's what you'd expect.
Yep. That kind of game. Oh, and also a stun out of that double skull. Skull.
Oh, this could be fun, especially if the ball holder.
I mean, at this point, it's just over.
Of course, another injury. This is insane.
Well, Duckyours, at least you tried.
At least you made it to the end of the game, mate. This is like one of those UFC fights where you have one fighter just beating the hot piss out of the other one. Can't get the finish.
Carrier himself.
I like that. Throw the red dice.
One
So
go
there you go.
for the ball carrier. 10.
Oh, damn. That was
Good
was
hit.
powerful. Yeah, powerful to red die.
It's interesting, the whole, as a new player, I very quickly thought, don't ever, under any circumstances, ever throw red dice. But the more I see skilled players being prepared to take that risk, the more I understand that sometimes... Oh, another one! Sometimes it can be the right thing to do. It's not a great chance, but it's the best chance you have. Okay, 4 injuries, 2 deaths, 3 knockouts. This is disgusting.
Yeah, and it's bad some of them are bad injuries as well.
And just casually
got the ball.
Yeah, casually the Yeti picks the ball up. Go on, JuodVarnis, turn 16 fouls.
Just to shove it in.
Turn 16 fouls.
Need to change
Oh my word.
undergarment.
That was absolutely disgusting.
Take a quick
Let's look at some dice rolls.
Do your
Or Ragnarok and roll.
somewhere else, Stinky.
Injury, 87% success rate on injury.
Ouch. Oh. 46% armor break.
Wow. Wow. And then look at this. So 17 sixes, which isn't that... It's pretty high.
Well,
And then
it's
odd
not,
end vagrants.
it's not that bad, but all the ones Judas got was in the injury table.
Yeah. But look at odd end vagrants. He rolled 41 sixes.
41 sixes.
And to what end? It mattered not a sausage.
I
Okay, so
don't
block
understand
dice.
where did he get all those sixes.
19 powers for Ragnarok and roll. 11 for odd end vagrants. 7 skulls for odd end. 17 skulls for Ragnarok. But how many end results were actually skulls? Like
I don't think it says.
he was able to re-roll only one, only at the end. Crazy. Well, that was absolutely disgusting. Well diced, JuodVarnis. I mean, I suppose he's gonna, in retrospect, maybe hope that he would get that dice luck in the semi or the final.
Yeah.
Well,
Now the other 2 matches are just
This
going to be interesting in my...
very, very much so. The remaining ones, we've got Reikland Reavers against Spooky Skilly Boys, and the Dwarfs against the Rats. I worry for my good friend, the Exile, with these rats.
Yeah, I worry for the rats, but... Ouch.
I mean, look at this. So he's got a pretty standard set of gutter runners. 3 blodge, 1 dodge wrestle, 2 side steps on the gutter runners, but then both his storm vermin are out, which is just absolutely devastating for him. So he's going to have gutter runners, 1 thrower, and then a couple of linemen. I don't see how he beats the Dwarfs with that rat team.
Well, we'll see on the game. Maybe he's gonna get lucky and dice the Dwarfs.
I hope so. But the thing is, just think, what are you going to have to do to dice these Chaos Dwarf blockers, 3 of which have guard. There's a Minotaur with guard. There's a Bull Centaur with plus agi, block, and safe hands. I think the only way Logix loses this is if he suffers a brain aneurysm midway through the game and dies. I think that's...
Well,
Monty
he's gonna
Python
have
style.
a lot of petty money.
Yeah, look, it's gonna have to be like Monty Python style, where like, luckily the animator suffered a fatal heart attack. It's gonna have to be something of that sort. Anyway, interesting game. Mate, thanks for helping with the commentary and for helping me watch that atrocity and a war crime of a game.
Yep.
Good luck to the rest of the teams in the rest of the tournament. All right, mate. See you next time.
With the gold wizards.
Goodbye.